Welcome to the woods. Bit more of an upbeat video today. Not going to dwell on the problems coming over the horizon. Taking a bit of time. It's a lovely day. A little bit of time spent in the woods. Now, if you ever do that, or if you ever go camping, there's some tools you're going to need. And in fact, I'm going to say, in your everyday life, there's some tools you're going to need occasionally, not all the time. And the main tool is going to be a knife. When I built the cabin, I used the same knife every single day. I used it for marking where I was going to notch wood. I used it for carving out pieces of the timber. I used it for making my sandwiches. And I used that one tool every single day. And there's a lot of bushcraft channels out there, and they'll run through the best knife for bushcraft, or if you're out in the woods or whatever. So I'm just going to run through three that I've got with me. So the first one is a Browning web sheath, leather handle, finger guard, nice blade, nice shape. Nothing special about this. It's light, sharp. It's an everyday implement. And I say there's nothing special about it because it's machine made. And as much as Browning is an American company, it's made in China with Chinese steel. And reminds me a lot of lots of other products available today, mass produced, quite handy, but kind of leaves me cold. So that's number one. And this is number two, leather sheath, shaped. Birch handle, cherry wood inlay, Scandi grind on the blade. Handmade. Handmade in the UK by a chap called Jeff Wiggins. A company called Green Man Forge. It's a piece of craftsmanship. The shape of the handle. Full tang. Broad back, so you can use that steel on a ferrous rod to start a fire. The leather sheath is embossed with his own company logo. One man hand makes all of his own knives, and it costs a fair bit more than that Browning, but it's a beautiful implement. It is a piece of craftsmanship. So on to number three. Again, leather sheath. Handmade. English oak handle. Steel blade. And if you notice that black down here, that's because this one wasn't made using the stock reduction method, which is where you would cut out a piece of steel into the shape of a knife and then sharpen it. This one was actually hand forged. And I know it's hand forged because it was the first knife I made. And it took a long time to make it. It took a full day. I think it took about 9 hours. Heating up the steel, using a hammer and anvil, quenching the steel, heating it up again, reworking that blade, shaping the blade, sharpening the blade, and it's not an amazing looking knife. It's got a nice broad back so you can use it on a ferrous rod. It's full tang, so the steel goes right the way down to the bottom of the handle. But there's lots of mistakes made when I did it. The blade shape's not perfect, the grind could be a lot better, but it's sharp, it does its job, and it means a lot to me because I made it. And I spoke a couple of weeks ago about a couple of businesses I'm going to get up and running, and I wanted them to be traditional. I wanted them to be something I could do from home, quite obviously, considering that if they lock it down again, I need to be able to do something here using materials that are readily available. So I'm going to make handmade knives. Not a lot of them, but they'll be a quality item. And I've got some work to do to get as good as Jeff Wiggins, but I can get there. And the handles are all going to be used using the local wood from here. In fact, they're going to be made using one wood, which is a hardwood that isn't used that often, rhododendron. And this is a piece of rhododendron. It's quite a lovely wood. The plant itself is not liked very much by woodland owners in the UK because it's a non-native species. It was brought over here by the upper classes in the 17 and 1800s for their gardens, and it kind of ran wild. So yeah, you have to work at keeping it at bay, which means I take quite a bit of it down, which means I've got quite a lot of this stuff lying around, and it is a fantastic wood to work with. So the handles of these knives are going to be rhododendron from my own wood. The steel is going to be British, and they'll all be handmade. And there's something to be said about owning something that someone spent some time making. You see, this is a handy piece of kit, but if I lost it tomorrow, I wouldn't be that bothered. I could go and replace it for probably £20. Mass produced, no craftsmanship. Whereas this one, handmade, one of a kind, a beautiful piece of kit. This I wouldn't want to lose. This I look after. This I clean. This I oil. This I make sure it's kept dry. And the same with the one I made. I wouldn't want to lose it. It was a skill I've learned, and now I'm going to be able to use that. So keep your eyes peeled. If you're interested, if you'd like to own something that's handmade from here, that you could use if you're ever out in the woods, or if you do bushcraft, or if you go camping regularly, or even if you just like one at home, drop me a line and I will keep in contact with you for when they're starting to be produced. And there's a couple of other businesses I've got coming up as well, and I will keep you posted. I know a few of you took a wild guess at what they might be, and some of you I think are on the right track, but you know, I will keep you posted as and when these things come online. But for today, I'm going to take my knives, have a pot around the woods, do a little bit of work, and just enjoy the day. Try to put all that madness that's happening out there behind me and concentrate on the good things in life. I'll speak to you all soon. Take it easy.